Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. So honored to have you leaning in to spending some time with us today. We are starting a special series. We're going to have 3 to 4 shows in this series. So we're excited to have you listening into the first one. And we do these periodically when we have a anthology, a collaborative book project that we're coming together, uniting together to bring to the world. I love to give you an opportunity to get to know some of the authors that are involved in those projects. And when that happens, we do a special series leading up to the book launch because we want you to get to have a feel of who's involved in this project and then mark the date, June 19th. I'm going to share it several times during our show time together today, June 19th on the calendar, because if this book is resonating with you, we're going to launch it starting on June 19th for the super special rate of $1. So today, we're going to be leaning in and giving you an opportunity to learn from experts and influencers around the area of leadership. So many of us have this call on our life to step forward in leadership, and yet sometimes we're not quite sure what to do with that. How do we step into that place? How do we lead? How do we develop our leadership skills? What are they? How can we lead in a way that's in alignment with how we're made? Sometimes we're put into a leadership position because we were really good at something that we did, and suddenly now not only are we continuing to do that, but now we're leading people in it, and we don't always feel confident in stepping into that space. So today, our amazing guests are going to be supporting us in this. They are all part of a book that'll be coming out on June 19th. It's the first in our Experts and Influencer series, and it's the Leadership Edition. So these are amazing experts and influencers from around the world that are leaning into the conversation around leadership to help empower you in stepping forward as a leader in your life, how to develop your skills, how to really shine in the way that you're made. So as you take steps in leading, you're doing so with confidence. You're doing so having these amazing experts and influencers pour into you. So I'm really excited for this series, thrilled to have this amazing book coming forward and to share these experts and influencers here with you today as they stop in to pour into you. So today, those of you who are driving, please stay safe, both hands on the wheel, inwardly tuning into the conversation. Those of you who are able to, I encourage you to put both feet on the floor, feel it supporting you. And I want you to do this so that we can be fully present. By putting both feet on the floor, taking a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth, like through a straw. This kind of breathing, keep breathing, helps bring us present. And I want you to invite you to be present, because I believe there's something here for you in our conversation around leadership by the very nature that you tuned in. And I want you to be able to receive everything that's here for you today. And the best way to do that is by being present, being open to receiving everything that is here for you, because we've brought the experts to support you. But now you have this choice of being present, and are you willing to receive what is here for you today? So keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth like through a straw. And let's dial this up. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, and close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Bringing all of you present, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Keep breathing. This type of breathing helps bring you present and brings oxygen to every cell in your body. It helps you lower any stress levels, cortisol levels, have clarity in thinking, and create an openness so that you can receive what has been lovingly prepared for you today, especially around the area of leadership. So eyes closed as you're breathing, I want you to think about what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, uplift you? What is it that you need to support you real time in the area of leadership? Just see what answer you receive. And let me add to this, not only what is it that you need today, but are willing to receive because you have choice. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? See if that shifts the answer a little bit for you. Beautiful. Receive that information. Wonderful. Take another breath. Come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present. Wonderful. Take a moment to write down the information you received, what it is that you need and are willing to receive real time. Great. And the reason I encourage you to write it down is sometimes it just is moving around, shifting around inside of us. But when we actually write it down, we're helping co-create what it is that we need. We're getting it out of us and we're bringing it into reality. And it helps us keep it top of mind because we get so busy, we easily get distracted. This helps us keep it top of mind, so we're actively on the lookout, ready to receive exactly what it is that we need. And I'm going to encourage you to be unattached to how. In fact, be looking forward to being surprised and how this need is met in an unexpected and wonderful way. Being open to that so that we can receive everything that is here for us today. Beautiful. Let's breathe that in. Great. We're going to go around our virtual room here and connect in heart to heart with each of the amazing experts. There are 4 of them that are joining us today. And we're going to hear when we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen, what was laid on their heart. So as we go around the room, Stefan, I would love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
Well, for me, the answer for both was energy. I feel energized, and I'd like a little bit more, and I'm willing to receive it.
Beautiful. We lift that up and we send you energy. Beautiful. I love that. But I'm glad that you have some and you're recognizing that and celebrating and then open to receiving more. Beautiful. Wonderful. Rosemary, how about you?
What I received was a place of that contemplation. Reserving a space for contemplation was very important to me.
Beautiful. Creating and reserving that room and space for it so that we can contemplate, reflect, and receive. Beautiful. Thank you. Cassandra, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Being in a place where, a space where you can be open and receptive.
So important to receive.
So that you know what you need.
Yes, having that clarity.
Being willing to receive it.
Beautiful. Open, receptive, clarity, being willing and able to receive. Beautiful. Thank you. Julie, how about you?
You know, I was just feeling privileged and blessed to be part of this dynamic project that you put together. It's something that I'm passionate about, and I just feel blessed that I am able to be here with you and with the other co-authors this morning, as well as part of this collaborative venture that we're all doing with this amazing book.
Thank you. And I just, that echoes my heart. So I love your share. Thank you, Julie. It is such a special project that we are coming together and having the honor and the privilege to connect with all of you and to lead and bring this project forward. It's so important that we can come together around areas like leadership and lean into each other and help each other lead and step forward and shine powerfully. And it is a privilege and a blessing when we can come together on such important subjects. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Listeners, we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do this, and those beautiful commercials are playing in the background with amazing information updates that we want you to have, we want you to be aware of, I encourage you to stay present. Resist the urge to cross things off the to-do list. Really give yourself permission and the time to use these 2 minutes just for you, to really receive everything that's being laid on your heart, to create that space to listen, to receive, and to process. Enjoy these 2 minutes, and we will continue our conversation in just a moment.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel. Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you had an opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, listen, and receive. We're so good at being in action and the things on the to-do list. I feel like what we sometimes need to remember to do is to stop, pause, listen, and give ourselves an opportunity to process what is being shared with us, to develop our listening, both what's being shared with us externally, but also what's being shared with us internally. Really listening to that information and then giving ourselves a moment to process it. You're going to have these opportunities throughout the show, but I want to encourage you to utilize them. It's so easy to get distracted and move on to the next shiny thing, whereas I believe you are here on purpose to receive information that's going to be supportive to you. So really, I encourage you to stay present and receive everything that is here for you. We are talking about leadership. Today, we are having a beautiful conversation with authors from our Experts and Influencers series, the Leadership Edition, to be released on June 19th. We're going to encourage you to write that on the calendar, June 19th. When we release this book, we're going to offer it for a super special rate of $1 US, for the first 24 to 48 hours. So that's why we want to encourage you to write it on your calendar. It'll be released on Amazon, and we'd love to help it reach as many people as possible so we can all step forward in our leadership gifts and skills and step forward and bring forward those things that matter most to us. And I wanted to take a moment as we talk with our 4 authors. We have 4 authors today joining us. There are a total of 18 authors in this powerful book. So today we're talking with 4 of them. I wanted to introduce them a little bit to you. You got to meet them on a heart level. So let me share a little bit about each one. And then I'm going to have them share why this particular project called to them and they leaned into being part of it. So Rosemary, I'm going to start with you. So Rosemary Barnes is a professional speaker and trainer. She's founder of Confident Stages Executive Development. So how do we really step into being confident on stages? She's an international best-selling author, and she's passionate about helping you step forward powerfully as a leader through clear and respectful and effective communication. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Rosemary Barnes to the stage. Welcome!
Hello, and thank you for that very lovely introduction. The reason that I decided to be part of this book project is that much of my work entails bridging the generation gaps in today's modern workplace. It's different today. Leadership today is very different than it was in the past. So to become part of this book was to continue to share ideas and considerations necessary for today's powerful leadership, which is becoming increasingly female.
And I love this point that today's, because we need to continue this conversation. We need to bring the wisdom forward, but also have it timely where it's serving the market today. And the increase in women's leadership also has new waters that we're navigating. So powerful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And where are you from?
I live on Vancouver Island, Canada's lovely little piece of paradise.
Beautiful. I always love to have a share where we're from because we have an international audience. And it's nice to know different places that our guests and speakers are from. So wonderful. Thank you for leaning into this project and being part of it. We're going to talk about your chapter a little bit later on. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And our next amazing author, I'm excited to share with you, our expert and influencer, is Julie Anderson. She's known as the Brain Lady. She's an in-demand international speaker, neuroscience and personality brain expert, podcast host. She's been interviewed on ABC, Fox, and UPN, and she is passionate, underlined, about helping us understand our unique brain wiring so that we can operate that way, play to our strength, and step forward in amazing ways. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Julie Anderson to the show. Welcome!
Woo, woo, woo! Thank you so much, Rebecca. I am coming to you from the beautiful Sierra Nevada foothills of Northern California.
Beautiful. We welcome you. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why you leaned into this project, why it called to you.
Well, you know, of course, being able to work with you, Rebecca, is always an honor because of the dynamic work that you do. But when this topic hit, this is something that I am passionate about because really I want to always help people live their best lives, have better lives, and get more successful, have more successful businesses and more successful relationships. That's a lot of what I do by helping people connect to their unique brain personality connection. But when we're talking about, that being said, when we're talking about leadership, there's such a privilege and such a power of the leadership platform. And a lot of people are naturally in a leadership position and don't realize it. Maybe they're just leaders in the community. They're leaders at the school. They're leaders all over, and they don't realize it. But when you really realize that, you embrace it and you understand the power that you have to affect the psychology, the brain, even the neurochemistry of the people that you are engaging with. That's powerful. You can change people's lives for the better. So being a part of a collaborative book where a lot of experts are coming together and helping those who are in those leadership positions, whether it's in your community or it's on a stage, it's a blessing and a privilege to be able to help everyone be the best leader they can be. And that's really why I felt called to or really wanted to be involved in this project.
Thank you for sharing. I'm sitting here nodding. So any of you who couldn't hear that, I'm just nodding with a huge smile on my face. I just love your passion and your conviction and your commitment to helping us all step forward so powerfully, and remembering that we have this impact as a leader around us on the lives around us, and even how they are thinking and receiving and processing. And what a privilege and an honor. So thrilled to have you joining us in this project.
Thank you.
And then we have our amazing Stefan. Now, Stefan Surdek is an in-demand speaker, leadership development coach, corporate trainer, workshop and retreat leader. He's the founder of Pixis Cultures. And he is so committed. I just was feeling into this, Stefan. You're so committed to helping leaders develop their leadership skills and personally grow as leaders so they can have the impact they're wanting to have both in their lives personally as well as in the lives of the people that they're leading. Can we warmly welcome the amazing Stefan Surdek to the show? Welcome!
Yay!
Yay! Hi, I'm thrilled to have you here.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here too. It's going to be super fun. I'm from Montreal in Canada, and the reason why I decided to be part of this book project is I've been writing about leadership for the past 6-7 years now, and I believe a lot in personal leadership. How can you step into your leadership, live into your leadership around your life? So I kind of bring this message in whatever I do, whether it be in my writing, in the courses I give, in the coaching I do with clients. I do that all over the place. And I've written the book a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And when I had the opportunity to do this and to actually write about leadership for people in a meaningful way, to have impact on them and maybe give them a different perspective on how they can step into their leadership. And I just found it was a great way to get my message out in the world.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I am thrilled to have you joining us in this project. And one of the things I really appreciate about you is you have this way of helping people be very thoughtful about how they're approaching leadership and digging into that a little bit and perhaps expanding or shifting their perspective, looking at things a little bit differently. And I appreciate that aspect that you bring to leadership, because sometimes we make assumptions or we just kind of go an operational default format, and it's important to be thoughtful and grow and expand.
Yeah, and it's important to be mindful as a leader and very intentional so that, it's okay to decide to do something or not do something, as long as you're clear on what you're trying to get to, and as long as you can share some of that clarity too with the people that you're working with, and how can that allow you to be a better leader for the people around you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Honored to have you as part of this project, and we'll be talking about your chapter a little bit later on. Thank you. And then we have our beautiful and powerful Cassandra Garabedian. She is a #1 international best-selling author, a style consultant, founder and CEO of Making Statements in Style. She is a former international runway model and has degrees in business management and marketing. She is passionate about helping you create your signature look, especially as a leader. And it comes from the inside out so that you can have a look that embraces fashion with a purpose. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Cassandra Garabedian to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. The reason why first of all, let me say that I am from the San Francisco Bay Area. And the reason why I chose to be a part of this magnificent group is because I wanted people to understand that it first starts with you, the individual. So it's very important to understand that in order to effectively be a leader, you must first lead yourself. You must first understand yourself.
Yes.
And in order to effectively communicate who you are, and what you stand for others to understand you, you must first understand yourself.
Beautiful.
So, communicate that. And it starts from the inside out.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. And I'm hearing this common theme with so many of you today about this clear communication and really being able to step forward in that so that we can lead. And it's important that we do have growth and we are being purposeful and mindful in how we're leading and even recognizing that we're a leader. I think that is a challenge out there. So many of us sometimes define leaders in a certain way versus really questioning and seeing, are we a leader and how are we a leader? One of the things that struck me as we were moving on in this journey and bringing this book forward is that when I asked the cover to be designed and asked the design team to come up with a cover around leadership to show experts and influencers in leadership, they came back with a picture of men in business suits and a forceful kind of energy. And it's something that really struck me because I look at leadership so differently. That's not how I see it or define it. And I remember going back to them sharing that, well, I'm actually a woman leader and we have men and women in our book. It's not about gender, it's about leadership and bringing that forward. And we went back and forth on the cover design. And finally came up with a cover that you will see and can see today. And then when we release the book officially on June 19th, and it's a flock of birds and a V. And as you look at that, they are in flight, and you'll notice it's not a perfect V, it's a V in motion. And I felt like that was such a good illustration of leadership. And in flocks like that, the birds actually cheer each other on, making noise, and then they rotate who's in front as they all are supporting each other on the journey. And I thought it was such a beautiful image of leadership, and that's what we want to bring forward is multiple experts and influencers adding to the conversation around leadership so that we can each discover if we are a leader, how we're a leader, and how are we called to lead? How do we want to lead? What are we leading? And I've learned it's not a solo journey. We can get support and help along the way. And that's what we're looking to do today. And in this book is to provide that support, to walk beside you as experts and influencers, to add thoughtfully to the conversation around leadership to support each of you. So as we get ready to go to our first commercial break, our second, my goodness, the time flies, so to speak, flies and moves so quickly. As we go to this next commercial break, I want to encourage you to take these 2 minutes and see what was spoken into your heart and spirit as these powerful leaders are sharing why this project called to them, what they believe about leadership are wanting to bring forward. What are you wanting to bring forward in your life? We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
H2 Open Doors is a project of Rotary Clubs worldwide that wants to help the poor help themselves. These are water enterprises run by the people that support the social services of villages and schools. It's a much better way to go than by giving continual and endless donations. Let's support self-reliance and human dignity instead of generational poverty. You can learn more about H2 Open Doors and how to make a difference. Just visit h2opendoors.org. That's H, the number 2, opendoors.org.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, really giving yourself an opportunity to stop, pause, listen, and see what's being spoken into your heart about leadership. Perhaps there's a certain image we hold that defines a leader, and we're being asked to expand that a little bit. Maybe it's recognizing that we are a leader. We have just never claimed that identity before. Maybe we're curious about how we can stretch and grow as a leader, or take it to that next level. We're going to continue asking and exploring these things in our conversation today because we are committed to helping you step forward powerfully as a leader. We are talking with amazing experts and influencers from our Experts and Influencers series, our book that is coming out on June 19th. So please mark that on your calendar. I'm going to keep reminding you. I don't want anyone to miss the date, June 19th. It's a Wednesday. And we're going to be offering this powerful book for the first 24 to 48 hours at $1 US on Amazon. So please mark your calendar and that date and be watching for it on Amazon and in social media that we'll be sharing it out. It's the Experts with an S and Influencers series, Leadership Edition, the Leadership Edition. Wonderful. So now we're going to go around the room and talk with our experts and have them share with us the title of their chapter. So you can make a note of that, the title of their chapter, and a highlight or something that you can look forward to learning or discovering in their powerful chapter. And Cassandra, I'd love to have you lead off and share the title of your chapter and something we can look forward to in it.
Sure. The name of my chapter is Bold People Do Bold Things.
Beautiful.
And it takes courage, drive, and the will to take risks, to go against traditional methods. Being creative and thinking outside of the box has proven to be quite lucrative for some business models. So basically, you have to look at your business model and you have to be willing to take risks to understand exactly what it is that you're doing, and you have to have courage and the drive and the will to know what you're doing and why you're doing it and go for it.
Beautiful. I love that, the being willing to take that action, to be bold once we have the clarity. Right? That clarity is important.
Going back to that, exactly.
Beautiful. But it takes a boldness and courage to bring things forward. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Stefan, you share the title of your chapter and something we can look forward to in it.
So my chapter is called Live a Life You Want to Lead. And it's kind of the story, what I like about the chapter, and I think what readers can look forward to, is I mixed the message with my own story and some of the actual stories of how I chose to live a life that I wanted to lead, and some of the lessons that I learned along the way. And what I tried to do inside the chapter is give people some concrete ideas, some concrete steps that they can take to start making a change in their life and to start becoming a different type of leader in their life.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I love that you brought that up, that you shared some of your own journeys. And listeners, what I want you to understand is that means, and most of our experts have done that in this book, they have peeled back, what is the best way to say that? They have lowered the curtain. There we go. That you're able to actually see into their life a little bit, some of the journey that they've taken, and how valuable is that? So often we see the end product or this moment in time, but not always the journey leading up to that and choices made. And then giving us steps that we can take and apply in our life. And every chapter richly shares practical and profound steps that you can take. And I think that's really important, being able to know the steps we can take to bring into our life.
Yeah, so it's the key.
So thank you for sharing, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I haven't mentioned that yet, and I think that's something really important about this book. And as leaders and those of us who are growing in our leadership, looking for those steps that can help us get the clarity and know the steps that we can take to help us move forward in the areas we're wanting to move forward, and move forward the things that we're wanting to move forward, including how we are being as a leader. And that's something I know you really explore and look at in your chapter, and I appreciate that.
Well, that's the goal, right? If we want people to learn something, let's give them concrete ideas and real stories. That's the best way to learn from experience of others.
Exactly. We don't have to learn it all on our own. Oh, takes that pressure off.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
You still have to go through some of the pain yourself, though, but if you can learn from the pain of others, too, that's a good step.
Yeah, it's an accelerated path.
Exactly.
Love it. Thank you. Rosemary, I'd love for you to share the title of your chapter and something we can look forward to learning in it.
Thank you, Rebecca. The title of my chapter is Leading in the Spotlight. Do you listen?
Yes.
In order to be heard, we first have to listen. And yet, when we listen through our own filters, brought about through our lives, through our experiences, from where we come. And they are so powerful that they can actually cause us to not completely hear what the other person is saying.
Yes.
Because we translate it into, what does that have to do with me? Leading from the spotlight means that we have to share appreciation where appreciation is due. It doesn't demean our contributions if we show appreciation for someone else. It doesn't tamper with control over our teams or our situations. It simply means that we communicate appreciation and gratitude in a significant and meaningful way, which creates loyalty, which creates all manner of symbiotic relationship within our teams so that we can all work together. Leadership today is not autocratic as it used to be. Today we're talking about leading through teamwork, and that means that we have to learn to listen with open ears and trying to hear it from the speaker's point of view, not our own. That comes later.
Yes. So powerful, because we can get blindsided and not even hear what's being shared with us because we're not truly listening to what is being shared.
Absolutely
Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So important that we learn to listen from the point of view of the person that is sharing it. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Julie, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your chapter, the title of it, and what we can look forward to learning and discovering in it.
I would love to. The title is The Neuroscience of Leadership, and it's the power of your words and your actions. And anybody who knows me knows that I kind of have been dubbed the Brain Lady Julie, and I really, everything that I focus on and what I bring to awareness in this chapter is the neuroscience and the neuropsychology of how your words, literally the words that you use, and your actions, your physical actions, your interactions with the individuals that you're leading is how the effect that it has on their brain. And when you really understand, like I said before, the power and the privilege of being in a leadership position, whether it's a leadership in your neighborhood, your community, or on the stage as a speaker, or in business, or in corporate, whatever that is, understanding that everything you say and do has the ability to deeply impact for a positive or even the negative, depending on what you're doing. So being attention to your words, the positive messaging that you carry, your physical interaction, are you open to them? Is your body language open to them? Because when we pay attention and improve in these areas, we can transform from just being an okay leader to really being a great leader. And this takes focusing on receiver, not sender, because we get so excited about our passion and about our message, and we're just delivering it the way our brain wants to deliver it, and not always focusing on how is what I'm saying affecting and being received by the people around us, and then making sure that we tweak that in a way that's always positive and always going to have a very positive impact on the people that you're interacting with. That's a lot of the focus. I go straight to the brain and the neuroscience.
But and I so appreciate that, but I love that you use language that if we're not a neuroscience expert, we can understand and receive, so to speak, that you are sharing so that we can use the information that you're providing. And I love that tip and that advice to be receiver focused, not just sender focused. Like, we get so excited, you're exactly right, about what we share. We are sure that we're communicating, and we forget not everybody receives information the same way. And if we can remember that and be focused on how they receive it, they're much more likely to hear and receive what we're trying to share.
Yeah, and it's something we just do, like I said, automatically. It's the way our brain's wired, right? And we get that enthusiasm and excitement, but when we start thinking about the people we're talking with and the people that we're encouraging or that we're leading, what do they need and how do they need to receive it? You know, are their brains more needing the emotion and that kind of support? Then you have to tweak your message so you are that great leader that you know you can be, and I know you can be, and you know you can be that. It just takes a few tweaks.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Excited to have your chapter as part of our book that we are bringing forward. And as we get ready to move into our next commercial break, our next 2 minutes, listeners, take an opportunity to write today, the date down. I want to make sure everybody has the date, June 19th. Right? Everybody got that June 19th. This book will be launched and available. So I want to make sure you have that on your calendar. And take these next 2 minutes to really give yourself an opportunity to process some of what is being shared. Even in these tips, these kind of highlights, there have been some real powerful gems that we can start exploring and looking at how we can bring them into our life. So with that, we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-hosts Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, really had the opportunity to stop, pause, receive, and process what's being laid on your heart. We've been talking with our amazing authors from the Expert Influencer series, the Leadership Edition, to be released this June on June 19th. And I asked our amazing experts behind the scene if they would share a tip or a piece of advice that we can look at bringing into our life now as we get ready to go back out into the world. I wanted to give you tools and tips that you can add to your toolbox that you can bring into your life real time. So with that, Stefan, I'd love for you to start.
Okay, so I think the first tip that comes to my mind is about remembering that life is a choice. We choose how we react to it. We choose how we want to be in our lives. We choose how, what kind of leader we want to be at every moment in our life. And sometimes I find that we spend too much time making up excuses or blaming others for not being able to do something. And I guess a nice question to ask yourself would be, and what if I wanted it to happen? What would I do?
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Important reminder, we have far more choice sometimes than we realize. Great question. Thank you. Julie, how about you? What piece of advice or tip would you share with us today?
I would love to share with the listeners that to stop, take a deep breath, think to themselves for just a minute, am I in a position where I do have influence over other individuals? And if so, don't hide your gifts. Don't try to conceal where your natural power and influence is, but really step into it, or as you like to say, lean into it, and powerfully shine as a leader the way that you are meant to be, and that your brain is there for you. Let it support you, and own it. Just really own it.
Beautiful. We don't have to try to lead in a way that we are not made. I love it.
Precisely.
Beautiful. And we can embrace and shine the way we're beautifully made. And I believe called to be the way we've been created to be, and we can lead most effectively in that. And I love how you teach us and remind us so much that our brains are wired to support us in that way. So we can keep doing it and shining and leading. Beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Cassandra, what piece of advice or tip would you give us today?
I would say to try to live a trustworthy, honest, a credible life. One that people can look at you and say, that person's authentic, they're loyal, and when I'm around them, I feel a sense of calmness.
Very nice. And we can choose to be those things and be that kind of a leader. Beautiful. I love the feeling and the groundedness of that and the importance of it. Thank you. And Rosemary, what would you like to add to the conversation or the tip or piece of advice for us today?
Thank you, Rebecca. What I want to say is that leadership has never been a solitary role. Leadership has always needed support in order for the leadership to be the mouthpiece. We no longer stand on our high pedestal and proclaim announcements for all to hear. Business today is about relationships. And relationships depend on our listening skills. When we're listening, we need to stop short. As soon as we start thinking, how does this affect me? How does this apply to me? What we need to learn to do is to open our filters and listen from their point of view with their filters so that we can understand exactly what they're saying. Beautiful. There's a wonderful saying that goes, "There go my people. I must go quickly, for I am their leader." To lead is to follow, and to follow is to listen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that important reminder and truth. Listeners, it has been such an honor to spend this time with you today and to bring this powerful conversation around leadership to you. And I believe each and every one of you are gifted and needed for such a time as this. Each of you have leadership gifts and callings, and we want to encourage you to be willing, because you have choice, to be willing to step further forward in them, so that wherever you go, whatever you do, be willing and choose to bloom where you're planted, share and shine your gifts out in the world, and lead as you are called to lead. Have a beautiful week, everyone. We'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.